Oh,
The place looked great. I mean, the audience was, we were like, man, the audience is a hot audience, man. Hell yeah. We're used to uglies, you know? We're used to a bunch of ugly motherfuckers, you know what I mean? Yeah, when you're talking about rape, man, shit. Like, only the hot people think it's funny, man. I have Spanish material, and I want to get into that because those people are super fun. And it's a demographic that's ready to have a good time and do things different than what they're normally used to doing. It's like, we just go to work, go home, go to church, go to the buffet on the weekends or whatever. Now they're seeking entertainment, you know, the Latin community and stuff.
How long would it take a comic to become successful?
Well,
live off comedy?
I think you got to ask a guy who's not working. I'm still a welder by day. You know, that question you ask the guy who, I don't work a regular job, I only do comedy. You know?
Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. G. Welcome to another episode of Truth on Tilt. Today, we have a very special guest. At our last comedy show, he turned out to be one of the funniest, wittiest, and edgiest comics we had. He doesn't care about cancel culture. He's from the streets or the ghetto of San Bernardino. He works during the day, and he's a comic by night. He's dying to get on the stage. He's dying to let you know how he feels about his culture, prison life, and anything else that tends to come to the top of his brain. Everyone, welcome to Truth on Tilt.
Where the white women at? They're all right here, shit. Hell yeah. I didn't know what kind of crowd it was going to be. I was like, all right, a round of applause. Is there any other retired members of the Mexican mafia?
You are? Born and raised?
Born and raised San Bernardino on Waterman Gardens projects.
Wow.
Yeah. It's like one of the sketchiest parts of San Bernardino. But you know what? It was dope. Like once you got inside that wall, it was like safe. You know, nobody was fucking with us.
Because everyone's scared to.
Yeah. You know what? And I was related to the scary people, but I just very carefree lived there. Like, my house was shot at a couple times and stuff, and I've been shot at and all that. But like, the danger part is fun, dude. It feels just like being on stage. Like you know how some people run away from shit, like, and there's that one guy who's walking, like, let me see what the fuck is going on.
Right.
It's that same kind of feeling, you know. I love it.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, hell yeah. Hey, and knock on wood, shit. I ain't never been caught. I ain't never been, like, seriously hurt.
Oh, really? You've never... So that's good.
Yeah.
You stayed out of trouble, which is...
Pretty good, you know, because I've always been pretty good at, like, getting other people to do bad things, you know, like the art of manipulation and all that, you know. And, you know, there's leaders and then there's the soldiers, you know.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, the soldiers... Yeah. So you were just...
I was just really good at getting other people to do bad things. You know what I mean? I did bad stuff too, but and I feel guilty about it. But you know, some of it's funny, man. Some of it turned into bits. Fuck it.
Yeah, well,
the bad things we were doing were to other bad people. You know?
Well, isn't it? But in my opinion, isn't that what comedy is? If you can't laugh at yourself and your history, then you're not really a fucking comic.
You know what? Yeah, and I went in like, fuck yeah, man, I'm going to talk about whatever I want. And if somebody has a problem with it, attack me. I don't care about getting beat up. And imagine getting killed. You know, and it's comedy. It would be so retarded to me. Like, David got killed because of something he said at a comedy show. And people get mad.
People do get killed because of what they say.
Yeah, they get mad. Yeah. And, yeah, man. And sometimes I try to be a provocateur. I get that, you know. And then... And I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings and stuff like that. And then sometimes people get offended, and then I'll feel a little bit guilty. And then I'm just like, man, you're just being a fag, dude. You know, because a bunch of people were laughing as well. I'm just not your comic. You know, maybe someone else on the lineup. You know, and when somebody like says something about me, I'm like, hey, I'm not for everybody, but hey, hang out. Maybe there's be another comic you'll like. You know.
Well, the Pack Lens Comedy Night was awesome because we had 10 comics. And so chances are we hit everybody's cup of tea.
I think so. It looked like you had a nice, variety of what people might like, you know?
It was.
And I got lucky that they were vibing my shit because usually some people are like afraid to laugh at the stuff I'm talking about, which is weird, you know? And then they'll come up to me after the show and they'll be like, hey man, you're really funny. I'm like, well, why weren't you fucking laughing? You know what I mean? Because then the promoter's going to be like, I just remember them being quiet. They were compelled, but they weren't laughing and they liked what I was talking about. And maybe the novelty of it had them fascinated. But yeah, sometimes I get people come up to me and like, hey, I really like your shit. I love your comedy. And I'm just like, why weren't you laughing then? You know what I mean? But they just, I don't know, suspension of disbelief or something. I don't know. Or it's like a bull in a china shop or something to them.
Well, let's get into who David is. You're from San Bernardino.
Mm-hmm.
Made it through high school.
Yeah, no, I dropped out of high school, man. School from the beginning was never my thing, man. Like in elementary, you couldn't make me go to school. They tried, man, and we were on welfare, so like government people would come, you know, to try to make me go, and they threatened my mom to go to jail and shit, and I was just really uncontrollable, and they had a real hard time getting me to go to school.
Do you think it's true that a lot of creatives have a hard time with school?
Oh, 100%, man. And this sounds like some cocky ass shit. But I know teachers now. You know, as a kid, you think, oh, and an adult, man, they're fucking geniuses. They're smart. They know everything. And if you're a teacher, you're you're the real shit. Nah, it's a bunch of fucking liberal arts fucking broads that hit the wall. You know what I mean? And so a lot of the times, because when you grow up in a dangerous area, all you do is not want to sleep because it's kind of scary and you kind of just got to be awake. And so you just watch a lot of late night TV and stuff like that. And we didn't have cable, so I'd be watching shit that normal kids wouldn't be watching, like the Tonight Show and David Letterman and all that stuff. And so like it was kind of like I didn't have a dad, never met my dad, so it was kind of like my connection to adults because my mom was kind of just, you know, she was a runaway at 15. You know, she didn't know what the fuck she was doing, and so then when these teachers, I felt like I knew as much or more than them, and so I was just like, you know, hey, you can't teach me nothing. I'm learning more on my own, kind of thing.
Right.
You know, because dude, I would read Reader's Digest because you know I'd be bored. Reader's Digest, National Geographic. My mom would just get all this shit from like thrift stores or Goodwills. And so, yeah, it was like reading or and a lot of art. I did a lot of art. And it was wild art. A lot of the shit she would just fucking rip up because she thought it was like satanic and stuff like that. And we're a heavy Catholic. And then I kind of leaned over to the bad part of the Catholic side, which was a little more like sexy to me, you know? And,
so the bad Catholic side.
Yeah. Like,
those are always the funny ones.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
I'd be getting bored. Sometimes I have to fucking stab a guy. And I'm like, man, what can I do to make this fun? And I'm like, I get the blood, you know? And then I'd put my handprint on the wall. And then I'd put an extra finger, you know? The warden would be like, oh, this should be an open and shut case. We're looking for a 6-fingered man, you know? And I'm like, yup.
Yeah, she would be telling me, like if you know, because the way I was, or the things I was doing, you're going to go to hell. The ground would open up, like, because I was so young. So, like, the ground will open up and the devil will take you. I'm like, if that shit happened to be on the news, lady, like, what the fuck? You know, like, I had already, like, mastered logic at a real young age, you know? And I don't know, man. It's just, like for a long period of time, it was like being scared of a bunch of shit, and then something happened, and then I was like, I ain't gonna be scared of nothing anymore ever again.
So who are your comedic heroes then? If you're watching,
oh man, Johnny Carson, 100%, David Letterman, and I know they're hosts. They're not like stand-ups, but I mean, Dave Letterman was a stand-up first, you know, but it was wild influences, like it was real life because there was some funny motherfuckers in my life, and then just like the excuse me, like the dangerous environment made funny things happen, and also wild shit was funny to me, and I gotta say, like The Simpsons, it's weird. I think well,
The Simpsons,
it's not like a typical like upbringing. Like I was bored with the regular hood stuff that was going on, and so I would seek out things that was different. And I remember people saying, "Oh, you're talking like you're white and all that stuff like that." I'm like, "No, I'm just learning words that you don't know." You know what I mean? And yeah, my influences were 100%. Because my mom would be like, "Hey, stay up for Johnny, and if you can't, try to stay up for the top 10 list on David Letterman. It's fucking good." And I was like, "All right," I didn't want to go to bed. I didn't care about school, and so then like I'd watch them. They were my main comedy influences, and in The Simpsons, it's genius writing, you know. But stand up like Eddie Murphy, and it was mostly like funny movies at the beginning, like Dolomite was wild to me. I know that's like a blaxploitation film. Trading Places and shit like that. So it was like Eddie Murphy, Bill Murray, those guys, and then stand up.
Gene Wilder.
Richard
Pryor.
I love Gene Wilder. Yeah, I love Gene Wilder, dude.
Yeah.
Mel Brooks, Albert Brooks, yeah, all those guys. Like a lot of like old vaudevillian, Jewish comedy, like big influence in my life. You know, just because I had real eccentric people around me. Within this like dangerous environment that were exposing me to stuff that I would never get exposed to, you know?
So are you old SNL or new SNL?
You know what? I didn't like the old Chevy Chase stuff, but I was a huge fan of Chevy Chase. He's just like a clown, you know, like in Fletcher.
Right. Fletch. Yeah.
And stuff like that. But I went in there. Mine would be the ones that I would watch would probably be like Dana Carvey. I wasn't a huge fan of Adam Sandler, but I liked him. I enjoyed him. I really liked Norm. Of course, I like Norm. I like who else? Dude, remembering names because there's so many people to think of. But just basically the 90s, like SNL era was who I would watch. You know what I mean? Because it was just like, all right, if I'm going to chill on a Saturday, it was something cool you could do, you know, drink some beers and watch that shit.
What was your first time you did stand-up? When was the first time you like?
First time was May 2nd, 2 years ago at American Comedy Club. And I've been wanting to do stand-up for a minute. And
why now?
You know what? I just didn't have the balls. I was doing other crazy things that I thought would like assuage that need. And no, there was always like that yearning for it, and people would tell me like, "Dude, you're funny," or like I'd hold court, and you know, you should do stand up. And I would write stuff, and then one day, my chick was like, "Man, I'm fucking sick and tired of you fucking bitching that you want to do. Just go to American Comedy Club and fucking sign up," because we had just went to see a stand up show there. I don't remember who it was, and I went for like 4 weeks. It's like a bucket pool. And I went there it might have been like 5-6 weeks. I'm not sure. And then
so
I finally,
it's like a lotto to get on the
stage. Yeah, it's a lotto to get on.
Wow.
And I just showed up and I was just kind of hanging out and I was just going there every Tuesday. And then I finally got drawn. And I went up there and I did this wild bit about going out with this special needs broad. And it fucking killed. I'd never done stand up at all, and the audience was in shock. And then they fucking laughed, and the comics were like, "Holy shit!" And it was a fun moment. Then I was hooked. It was like heroin, dude. And I was like, I'm there. And then it was just chasing any mic I could find in San Diego because I didn't want anybody that knew me, or I didn't want to run into anything familiar or anybody I knew. So I would always go to San Diego every night and find mics out there. And yeah, man, just be getting home like every day, like at 2:30, 3 in the morning, and then go to work at 6. And it was rough. And then you start getting popular, and then you don't have to hang out so late. Then like you get early spots, you know. And then I hit the year mark, and I hit some milestones like oh, if I get a spot on a real comedy club show, then, you know, it's time to leave after a year, no matter what, no matter how much you love this scene. And I bounced. But, yeah, May 2nd, 2 years ago, fucking I got up there and I got a laugh and it was over.
So was your bigger fear the fear of getting behind the mic or the fear of not making anyone laugh?
You know what? When I look back on it, the fear was absurd. I could say yes to both of those things. It was just like that cringe feeling of like like you're gonna be up there in absolute silence, like an absolute silent bomb. Like everybody thinks you're stupid or whatever, you know. And I never cared of what people thought about me, and I would do things in public to provoke or or make other people uncomfortable. So once I did it, I was like, can't believe I waited so long. And after that, I was just, I can't, like, all I think, right now, we're here doing a podcast. All I'm thinking about is getting up on stage. That's all I think about. It's like fucking 30% present everywhere I'm at, you know?
Because the right side of your brain never shuts off.
Dude,
once it gets going.
I'm just
are you always writing down bits all the time?
In my head, I'm always thinking about a bit. I don't keep a journal because when I try to write, like physically write, I've done it. And then I try to prepare, like all nerded out. It sounds like I'm reading somebody else's script. And so a lot of times, and it's probably not smart, but it's worked for me till now, is like a game time decision. Like I was not struggling, but debating between maybe 2, 3, 4 bits right before I went on stage. I go, let me look at the crowd, and then I'll decide what I'm going to do. And then if I don't write it down, that version that you guys heard was probably like, I don't know, like the 20th iteration of that. It's just, they're always just a little bit different. Yeah. And it's fun. And then one time a comic said, just go up there and tell the story like you're with your buds at a bar. You know, that's probably why the people were vibing it, because I was telling it like they were my friends.
Do you feel as if you have to give off that Latino persona because that's you, or do you feel like you could just go with whatever?
That's probably the most Latino, Mexican. Well, no, I do stuff in Spanish too. I have Spanish material, and I want to get into that because those people are super fun, and it's a demographic that's ready to have a good time and do things different than what they're normally used to doing. As like we just go to work, go home, go to church, go to the buffet on the weekends or whatever. Now they're seeking entertainment, you know, the Latin community and stuff.
Have you ever thought about starting your own Latino?
You know what, man? I'm good at showing up and leveling stuff. Not, all right, let me call. You're going to be here. Da, da, da. Hey, the venue, this and that. The business part makes it boring. Right. And then now it's not fun. Now my material's gonna struggle. And that's what I want to do, not the business part. And I know business is going to come in eventually, and I'll deal with it then. But right now, like, I don't think about that because I've been in a management position in a regular job, and I just hate having to organize
it sucks taking
different personalities and different egos.
Managing people is the absolute worst.
It's not fun. It's not fun. Yeah, and
it sucks the life out of fun.
Yeah, it does. and it's got to be a lot of money for it to be worthwhile, in my opinion, to manage people.
Right.
You know, I left management position, and people look at me like I'm stupid. I'm sure, and they're maybe living a little more comfortable because I did it, but I'm just sick of. If you're in a leadership position, it's just people coming in complaining, or you're putting out fires, or you're solving problems, and you dread cell phone calls. That shit's bullshit, dude.
It is.
Yeah.
Where did your prison persona come from then?
You know what? That bit came because I had 2 friends that were in the Mexican mafia, and they got out. And I always talk shit in any situation, and they would be talking about real serious things, and I'd be like, hey, wouldn't it be funny if this, and they'd be getting like mad because it's a serious thing, you know?
And he was like, nah, you know what, hey, man, go ahead and parole, dude, man, you know what I mean? Like, you should give this comedy thing a try, you know? And you know what, nobody wants to be hearing fucking knock-knock jokes while they're getting their shit pushed in.
And I always made light of these crazy stories, and I remember cracking them with these stories, and then it just kind of morphed into this whole prison thing and the absurdity of like I'm up for probation, and all right, I guess I got to kill again, and then people just laughing at that and shit, you know, and yeah, that came from real stories from real people that I would never like throw under the bus or anything. So I'll just say, yeah, that was all me, all true.
Okay, so you got to break it down for me. What's the difference between the Mexican mafia and the cartel?
Oh, well, the cartel is straight Mexico, and the Mexican mafia is like Chicano Mexicans here in the prison system, you know. And I don't know a whole lot about it, but the vibe to me now is that like there isn't a whole lot of gang stuff going on anymore. It's more cartel and what's, you know, and its connection to the gangs here. and that's pretty much all I want to talk about that stuff, because I don't want to be saying things out of line or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like, because those are heavy duty dudes. You don't want to fuck around with them.
Right, but you're the one who said you want to go back and try to do a Latino show.
Yeah, and
would you bring the Mexican mob joke in there?
No, because like their prison system is different. You know what I mean? There you go to jail and your family brings you food, and you could kind of live like I got friends that send videos, like they got like a whole like fish fry and like a crab like steam pot going and stuff, and they're living good. You know what I mean? And it just depends on how connected you are and stuff like that. So it's different there. It's not the same. I wouldn't do that. I for Spanish stuff, I just literally translate my English bits into Spanish bits. But that one probably wouldn't play real good. But also, I lived in Mexico. Like, I've been in the ranchos, and I know those guys. And so, like, I can totally tell relatable stories. Like, I speak the language really, really good. I speak their language, and I know, like, I have friends in the criminal part of it, and I have friends in the decent part of it. And so, both demographics are easy for me.
I know you.
I was like, dude, if we hit the cockfight, excuse me, let me get some water. I was telling some comics that are like down to do crazy shit. If we hit like the cockfighting circuit, you know, and bring in some kind of entertainment and a host to it, you know, like it could really be an event, because those guys are these Mexicans are dropping some real money on these things like that, you know, and it could be like an experience, you know, and
yeah.
you know, there's places that we can infiltrate in that market. I think that'd be fun. That's real loosey goosey and not the same as doing it here.
So, do your kids, your girl?
I have a son. Yeah.
You have your son. So do they feel bad that people believe that you are an ex-con member of the Mexican mafia when you're done with your bit?
No, because I go up there and I say it like vaguely, like, is there any other members of retired members?
Bullshit,
You know
because
what I mean?
the crowd here thought you were an ex-con.
Yeah.
Which was phenomenal.
And because it's an act, it's comedy. And they also laughed.
Right.
You know what I mean? They also laughed at a knock-knock joke, you know? They also laughed at, like, you know, putting people in like a yoga pose. You know what I mean? Like
Don't get me going on that knock-knock joke.
That's the thing, is because the absurdity going on, like, it's all absurd, you know?
It is.
And people who have never seen that kind of stuff or experienced that kind of life, or like know people that are in that, like, it's interesting to them, and to know that there's like comedy happening within that craziness is probably why they liked it so much.
What would you say to people that are saying you're making fun of going to prison, but that is actually
it's a joke.
problem.
Get over it, you know? And all right, well, if someone fucking loses their shit on me, it is what it is. I said it, you know? If you want to attack me, I'll defend myself. If you win, you win. If I win, I win.
So
I don't say anything that I ain't afraid to back up physically. And if you got a problem with it, you know what I mean? Let's go back to the rules of the wild. You know what I mean? Tell me something.
Yeah. Has anyone confronted you ever after a show?
No, man. The Mexican gangster dudes love that shit. The only time I've ever been like harassed is I have this sick ass rape joke about how I met my broad. And I don't know if we were recording earlier, but I said only ugly broads have a problem with rape jokes. And like all the hot girls like it, and this one really ghastly broad was like really mad, and she was like, I was raped. And I was like, well, what were you wearing? You know, as a joke. And then she got even more mad. And then she blocked the door to the club. And she's like, no. And no, that's another part. I'm mixing that part up. The rape one, then her boyfriend got her, and he was like apologizing and pulled her away. That other one was a pedophile joke. But that one was one where I said that my dad was molesting me, and this chick lost it, and she blocked the door, and she stopped the show. She was like, no. And I thought it was her husband, but it was her son. And then he started tripping. And then when I was hanging out outside, he confronted me outside, but then he ended up shaking my hand, and they were just a little drunk.
I know, but why do you go to a comedy show if you're not going to be comfortable with being uncomfortable? What's the point of comedy?
Yeah, see, I didn't know I was gonna like experienced things like that, where if someone had a problem with what I was saying, they just wouldn't laugh. But I didn't think they'd actually like come up and do something. But I've seen it. I have a friend. We were at the Laugh Factory. There was two dudes in the front. He was like kind of roasting the audience. They got offended and they physically fought outside the club. So people be tripping over some shit. And I know what I'm saying is pretty gnarly. And if someone who was like really doing that stuff might get offended and do something, I'll be like, hey, it's a joke, dude. And if you don't like it, then they got to do what they got to do.
I mean, well, people would get really offended. And that's the problem with our culture nowadays, because people will really get offended because you're making fun of broken families and all this other stuff because they're in prison. But the thing
broken families are funny, dude. Comedy comes out of a dark place sometimes. Some of the my
dark
comedy,
humor is the best humor.
Hey, I hear a lot of people saying that, but I also hear a lot of people complaining about dark humor too. So it might just be like social media driven and not really exist, you know. But there are places that is not welcome. I've had a joke banned, and I wasn't bitter about it because there should be a place for those people to go to listen to comedy where they won't hear something from somebody like me, you know, like say like you're like trans or like a gay guy. I hear a lot of people saying like fag and be like, oh, like the punchline is like, oh, that's fucking gay. That might be offensive to them. So if there's a place that polices that, then so what? I got to give up that comedy club or that venue or that location that hosts comedy. I got 9 other ones. You know what I mean? If every 10, one I'm not welcome, those people got to have their fucking space too. You know, I'm just trying to find my audience. And I don't know how many people are in the U.S. Was it like 300 million or some shit like that? Give me I don't know, 100,000 of those people. That's all I'm looking for. You know, someone to you know, I'm not trying to be a stadium guy. I want to go to cool comedy clubs, fucking go on stage, make people laugh that are seeking that kind of comedy and that kind of absurdity, you know? You know that there's a variety of audience. That's why on your show you guys had like 10 different people, way different from each other.
Yeah,
you know?
it was.
Yeah.
It was like the old Benny Hill show almost.
Yeah, exactly.
Or variety show.
And I think that if people are offended, that's the promoter's fucking fault. Why are you putting someone like me on a show when you know your audience is like that? You know?
Right. I agree with you completely. I think the entire cancel culture mentality, the fact that comics have to apologize at the end of their show if they offended anyone is absurd to me.
You know what? I think no one was really apologizing anymore. And if you have that mentality, like I said, some of those people need to have their place. Like there's clean comedy too, like where not only you can't cuss, but your subject matter needs to be clean. I wouldn't go there and then do my shit because that's their place. You know, if I want to be there and I agree to it, it's because I'm going to try to do clean comedy, you know? If a place banned some gay joke that might have offended a gay dude, if I keep doing it, it's just to be it's just to fucking be like against the rules and stuff like that. And I want to be entertaining. I don't want to just be like some punk rock comic out here and just to say shit just to offend people.
This lady, she was like, hey, are you a singer? And I was like, no, I'm a comedian. She's like, oh, you look like Freddie Mercury. And I was like, thanks. I look like a gay guy with AIDS. You know what I mean? That's a real panty dropper, right, ladies? Oh, you see Freddie Mercury and you're like, oh, yeah. No.
The stuff I say made me laugh, and that's why I said it. And if I keep saying it on stage, it's because people are laughing, you know?
So when comics laugh on stage, are they laughing at the audience or laughing at themselves?
Dude, when I laugh, it's because maybe I came up with a new tag right then and there, and it made me laugh. And my goal is to be having fun. If you see me laugh up there, it's not part of the act. It's like, oh shit, you don't want to break the character or kill the bit by your own laughter. You want the audience to laugh. If you laugh, what I found is the audience, I think, thinks it's like genuine, you know? I mean, I laugh because I made myself laugh, which is a beautiful thing, you know?
So when you're sitting there and these bits come in your head, like continuously?
Yeah.
So there are shows that you actually almost ad-lib, or do you...
Oh, yeah, dude. There was like maybe 5 new tags that night, you know? And if I laughed, I'll probably make myself laugh. I've had to, like, I'd be busting up and then the audience will start busting them, and then I'll continue. It's just kind of cool to think of, or like, oh, I just came back with this dope callback on this joke right now as we speak, and you get excited about it.
So do you think people look at Latinos as niche, or Latino comedians as niche, or do you think they're becoming part of the mainstream?
I think it's so mainstream now, and I've heard that, like, there's not a whole lot of opportunity, but I don't think that. I think that was maybe like the old times, or I don't even want to say old times, man. Maybe not that long ago it was like that, but right now I feel there's a variety of everybody, man. There's a gang of white people, gang of Latinos, gang of Asians, gang of brothers and sisters, and then all the miscellaneous. There's a lot of Indian guys, like, Middle Eastern. I'm seeing everybody. If you got a problem with race, you're in the wrong business if you get into stand-up comedy, because there's just like, you're just gonna commingle with everybody, and it'll fix whatever problems you have, man, because it's a dope community. I came in, man, and just people just pouring out help and support and guidance that just, I guess if they like you, they'll really go out of their way to help you. It's a dope community,
You ever thought of doing like America Got Talent or Last Comic Standing?
I don't think that's my audience.
Are you sure about that?
I'm not 100% sure about that, but like the TV Hollywood part of it, like auditioning and all that, like I'm gonna keep doing stand up, and then those things will find me. And maybe I'm shooting myself in the foot, but I mean, like, you guys found me, and I've just been doing stand up, and I have almost no social media presence.
Do you think because I really want you to start talking to people who think that they want to be comics. Do you find that social media piece is very important? Look at Matt Rife.
It's so important.
Yeah.
Like, it's my Achilles heel as of right now, I believe. Because I think that if I was just like really active on it, and just, I got to find the time to dedicate it to it. Like if it's just caring for your physical health, I guess. And just be like, this is the social media hour. This is where I got to post videos no matter what, and transcribe, and then, and post things that make sense. I don't want to just post a video on there. It's got to be a setup and a punchline. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to just, he posts just to be on the algorithm. No, if you're gonna look at my page, I want you to be like, he posts good stuff. I have friends. I'm like, man, his Instagram is really curated, man. It's beautiful. We can name drop here, right? Like, like, this guy's he's a stand-up man. His name is Joshua Benjamin. And his Instagram is like so artful and beautiful, and he'll have his stand-up on there too. And I was like, man, I need to not copy his, but like he's
use
putting
it
on
as a template.
like, I'm remembering,
template, yeah.
I'm remembering what he put, because I also have friends that'll just post stuff like, I'm eating, or like, look at me, I'm going to, I don't know, Spirit Halloween or some bullshit like that.
I'm shaking my ass in a bikini.
Yeah. And you see the guys are like, well, he's doing stand-up and he's curating really nice Instagram or social media stuff. So, like, I got to find time, And there's guys out there that do that stuff. I need to find someone that I trust and link up with them and have them do it.
If you think you did 60 hours a week, just dedicated 100% comedy, how long would it take for a comic? I know it's in the land of rainbows and unicorns, but how long would it take a comic to become successful?
Well,
live off comedy?
I think you got to ask a guy who's not working. I'm still a welder by day. That question you ask the guy who, I don't work a regular job, I only do comedy. I have a friend, his name is Mikey Gordon, and he's a wrestler and a stand-up comic and a producer of shows. And it just takes a lot of work if you don't want to work a regular job, because this guy is constantly promoting, and he does his wrestling gigs, and his body goes through that abuse. He has to recover. He has to work out because he's shredded, right? And he looks like a wrestler. And then find time to write comedy and then promote. And he does all that stuff because he's not working a regular job. But because he's not at a regular job, he's always working. He's always promoting. It's like you got to ask somebody like that question. You know what I mean? But
Is that
I
your
know
ultimate
I know
goal?
that my job is holding me back. If I had that 8 hours a day and I had the proper sleep, dude, because a lot of the times, like, I'm on 3 hours sleep a night. By Thursday, Friday, I think my comedy suffers from it, you know. And in personality wise, I'm probably not the best person to be around if I had a bomb or something too. And so, like, yeah, you know. And I know when I get good sleep and work's not in the way, my comedy is much better, you know.
How much sleep were you on when you came into Packland Studios that night?
Well, since we were on a holiday yesterday, I got like 5 hours.
Yeah. So is that what you average a night? Like 5
Yeah,
hours?
I average. Yeah. My watch says I average about 4.5, 5 hours a night.
Well, and just so you know, that's kind of how creatives and entrepreneurs work.
Yeah.
We don't,
Yeah.
because when we are awake, we always feel like we need to be doing something. I have a hard time sitting there not doing anything.
Yeah.
So if you're sitting there just watching a TV show or just hanging with your, family, do you still in the back of your head, are you still coming up with stuff?
Dude, like I said, I'm like 30%
30%?
present with my family and stuff, and they're cool about it because as soon as I think of something funny, they're cool with me stopping everything, and then I do the notes app, and then I'll record the idea, and I got like 500 different bits and premises and tags, and so like if I have like if I go a week and I haven't written something new or thought of something funny to say up on stage, I'm like, oh man, I'm a hack. Like, oh man, like what if you get a break and someone wants to take you on tour with them? You can't even think of material right now. Like this isn't for you, you know? And so then when I get worried like that, I'll look at old recordings, and most of the time I'm super stoned and I'll forget what I said. And if it made me laugh, I might write a bit off of that.
It's like, you know what, lady, joke's on you. I actually do a pretty good Freddie Mercury impression, man. You guys want to hear it? Yeah, man. You know that song, We Will Rock You? It's like, okay, you guys clap along with that and I'll get into it? Yeah, come on. All right, here I go. Get into this. Hello, Governor. Would you like me AIDS? Isn't that pretty good? Oh, you thought I was going to sing like him? No, I could butt fuck like him.
Or if it sucks, then I'll erase it. But
Is there anything you have that you're afraid to bring out because you think it will end your career?
no, because I've never wanted to say like the N word on stage. Like I'm not like I think racism could get you canceled, and I know it sounds racist to say you have black friends, but I have black friends. I have a black roommate for a couple of years. Like we're buds. We live together. Like that's not my cup of tea, and I think that could get you canceled. Like as far as talking, like I've talked about everything. I don't think there's anything on there that I would be afraid to get me canceled. But I wouldn't say something like.
But don't you also think controversy sells tickets?
Does it? I mean, I think controversy maybe gets you clicks. I don't think that transfers to tickets. I think being funny and yeah, just putting on a good show like sells tickets. Well, because I'm not really selling tickets right now where I could be like, hey, I fill up a club and stuff like that. Like, I think being, like, you got to get undeniable. You got to be funny. You know what I mean? Because, yeah, you can have something controversial and ride that wave for a bit. And what are you going to do? I got to do something else controversial. Then it's like, I'm doing controversy to get the tickets. I'm not being controversial because that's my real personality. You know?
So when you're not on stage, who is David?
I'm saying the same absurd stuff that I say on stage, I say it exactly the same. I act the same way as you saw me on stage. Now, I'm high all the time.
Do you do practical jokes on people?
Yeah, I've done some practical jokes on people. But they're like well thought out. Let me think of one. I used to work at this cement truck manufacturing place, and we had a friend named Boner, And
his name was Boner.
Boner, yeah. And
I
there was
won't
this,
even ask
there,
you.
there was this Mexican dude. There was this Mexican dude named Chewy, and he had a little argument with Boner, and then he got me involved. I was a manager, and so then I was like, all right, I'll talk to Boner. And I was like, hey, Boner, man, you can't be messing with Chewy. I go, but it would be funny if we low-key set it up where you became a stalker because he ratted on you. And so for like 3 months, like we would have him lay down like in the bed of his truck, like when he get out of work, or like we'd break into his vehicle and have Boner sitting in the passenger seat. And he would like constantly come and complain about it. And then we even had him like follow him home one day. And he was getting really worried, and then he's like, "Hey, you got to do something to help me, man. This guy's really losing his shit. He's in my car all the time, and he followed me home the other day." And I was like, "All right, I'll talk to him." He's like, "Cause I'm gonna bring like a weapon, and I'm gonna do something next time, right?" And I was like, "All right." And then we're like, "Hey, Boner, do it again." And we had him in there, and I noticed that he went to his locker, and I thought he was getting like a gun. And then a bunch of us were hiding behind some pallets, and we see that guy Chewy going to his truck, and Boner was sitting in the passenger seat, and then we all jumped out because I thought he had a gun, and he ended up just having a fork, and he was just gonna stab the guy with the fork. But it's just shit like that, you know?
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I
Because I saw one on, how.
But like in Practical Jokers,
Yeah.
like vaudevillian jokes now.
Oh, really?
We do weird shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I saw one
But-
this weekend on which I really want to try. This husband put a Bluetooth speaker in the trunk of his wife's car, and he was playing a honking horn sound continuously, and she really thought people were honking at her.
Oh,
and she
shit.
lost her shit.
So it's coming from inside her own vehicle, and she thought fuckers were. That's funny. That's a good one.
Like
Yeah.
that type of shit.
I like things like that.
Same
you know what I
here.
mean? Yeah. Because I'll like if I'm picking up friends, I'll be blasting like just like farts on Spotify when I pull up and it's with the windows down. I do goofy shit like that, but like practical jokes. Now we do. I like to go a little more hard in the paint. Like
Have you ever gone to a Rams football game?
You know what? I have not, but my son's high school team is playing this Friday there. So.
Oh, that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, SoFi is incredible, except the parking, the getting out after the game takes
Well,
hours.
it's a high school.
No, but I'm talking about a Rams game.
Oh, a Rams game? Yeah. I haven't
So
been
what we did one time is we Bluetooth porn through the speakers and just opened the windows and turned it up.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
And it turned heads left and right.
You should have just really started fucking in a car. That would have been funny.
It was just a group of guys, though.
How funny would that have been? A bunch of dudes that aren't gay butt fucking each other in Rams Stadium. And it's the Rams. You know what I mean? We were just ramming each other at
Los
Rams
Ramos
Stadium.
to you.
Yeah, hey.
Los
Huevo.
Ramos.
Yeah, Los Ramos.
Yeah.
I don't think that's what Rams are in Spanish.
But that's what the hat says.
Oh, yeah? Los Ramos?
It's a little bit of Spanglish, but it
Dude,
works,
that's
dude.
hilarious, dude. Fucking A, man.
And it's also Los Lakers.
Well, I love the Lakers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's Los Lakers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that's funny, man.
So if your son came to you and said, "Dad, I want to be a comic," what would you say?
You know what? Like, you're not that funny, Sonny. Like, you gonna want me to write for you or what? Yeah, I don't think he would want to
But
be
you
a
need
comic.
more than a writer. You got to be able to deliver it too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think he's got what it takes to be a comic. So I just tell him straight out, like, no, you don't got that kind of charisma. You're not funny. You've never held court at a family function or anything.
You think you had that charisma from day one, from like 10?
You know what? I was artistically, I was talented at a real young age, and so I got attention through that, and so like, yeah, I thought I had it.
Have you ever been accused of stealing or borrowing a joke?
Stealing a joke? No, because my stuff is like story based, you know.
Do you know people who have?
Oh,
gotten in trouble?
100%. And dude, there's one guy who, I'm not going to say his fucking name, and the guys that know me and who we know who he is, it's fucking lame, but there's a guy that just puts in premises into ChatGPT and has them write bits for him. And then he'll just like kind of put his own kind of flair on it. And it's like, hey, this is the new world that we're going to have to deal with. You know, there's going to be dudes that, and he's got good material, unfortunately, you know? And it's like, damn, man, like, I'm using my imagination, taken from real experiences, and you craft these stories, these bits, you know? And I have friends that are just on their notebooks, just like constantly like writing ideas, and then a guy could just go in and chat GPT it and and kind of cheat it. And but you got to adjust to that. You know, I always say, "Come rises to the top."
Right.
You know, and
do you think AI is going to change the comedy game?
100%. And
I
don't be a
think chat's
bitch
that
about
funny
it.
though. I don't think chat's that funny. You can.
Hey, give it some time. This guy is putting it in, getting the idea, and maybe he tunes it up a little bit, but he's killing it. It's making me laugh. I think it's just a matter of time, and you can't hate on it because it's inevitable.
It's not going to go away. It's not going away.
And I think it'll be like I like art, and if you presented me an oil painting or someone who did it on their iPad, you could do layers. You can reverse steps if you mess up. On a painting, you know, I know that the artist had that one, especially oil or something, had that one chance. And so, like, I think there'll be people who want the oil painting comedy and some people that don't mind the iPad comedy. They're both good. I've seen some sick-ass iPad art, you know? It's just, I don't want to print. I want the original, you know?
Do you think jealousy drives most of the comics?
I get jealous when somebody kills it. I would have been jealous of whoever who did better than me that night, you know?
So you're very competitive.
You always want to do the best, you know? So, and if you don't, and you're mad about it, what other emotion than that is jealousy?
Does the fear of failure drive you when you get on that stage?
Like that would be like scared. I don't get scared. I was scared at the beginning, and now it's just like I'll be turned up. Man, I got to get up there. I can't wait. And I know a bomb could happen, but you know, my batting average, like I said, knock on wood, is like been over 500.
Were you just jerking off or knocking on your wood?
I was knocking on my wood, dude. I don't know if this is real wood. I don't know if this is like particle board.
It's
know?
Chinese.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I knock on my own wood to make sure I don't jinx myself. But yeah, man, fucking.
You've never bombed.
Oh, I bombed, dude. The other day, I forgot to put my phone on vibrate, and my kid called me in the middle of a mic, and it completely threw me off. And I consider that a bombing. And I had a show on Friday. Was it Friday? Friday or Saturday? And people were coming up after me like, "Oh man, you were funny" and all that stuff. And I got laughs, but I considered it a bomb. It wasn't worthy of my performance. I got laughs, and people came up to me and said I was funny. So you would think all the boxes were checked, but nah, man, it wasn't a good performance, and I consider that a bomb.
If someone calls you again during a bit, you got to put that fucking phone next to the mic and just go with it.
I'll put them on the spot, but also
that's one of the best Matt Rife bits I've ever seen, is when he was on someone's phone and then, you know, he does all that. He does all the audience work.
Oh, he does that crowd work. Yeah, yeah.
And he had this lady's phone, and it was her daughter. Was FaceTiming her in the middle of his bit, and he answered the phone. It was by far his best work.
Really?
And
well, I think he does a lot of a lot of crowd work, right?
Did you do a lot of crowd work?
No, because I'm not good at crowd work, and I think what I'll end up doing is like kind of roasting them, kind of mean,
right?
You know. And people don't really talk during my shit. Like, I've been lucky where like they're like fascinated by what I'm saying or whatever, and for the most part they stay quiet.
Well, let's see. In the first minute, we knew you were Mexican mafia, ex-con, and willing to rape or kill again, so you wouldn't get parole. That's how you said
that. Was the first minute?
Yeah.
Dude, that's funny, man. Hell yeah.
I mean, and that right there, you grab the audience attention because they're like, I'm not going to fuck with this guy.
Yeah. If they were entertained, that's great.
Yeah.
That's the objective. You know, you wanted a comic to make them laugh and bring like a professional level quality to the performance, and I thought I did that. You know what I mean?
Do you think comics over-exaggerate how much they suffer and not getting paid well?
I never talk about money or getting paid. It's all bonus. Like I have Mexican friends, and we talk about like we don't chase the money. Like, it'll just fall on your shoulders if you deserve it. And yeah, it's like te va a caer en los hombros si te amanece. That's what we say. So like, if you chase it, like. I don't know. It might work for some people that chase money, man, but I'm not good with money. And so I was like, if I keep having fun and keep trying to make people laugh, if I deserve money, it'll happen. And it's been like it's happened a couple of times. So you're like, oh shit, the proof of concept is there. So just keep doing what you're doing. You know, it's gone up like in nice chunks. Like I never ask like how much you're gonna pay me or anything. I just say yes because I want to do stand up. You know.
Well, you're your true authentic self, and that will get you paid.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Like if you want to see stand up. You know, because that's like a made-up story. If you want to see only true stuff, it's not going to be funny. Go get a Mexican mafia biography, and it's going to be all horrible stuff. You're not going to hear jokes. You know what I mean? It's just like I'm trying to like. I want you.
You would watch.
You
that
were
documentary.
there. You guys were there. The way I painted that story, you guys were right there. You know, and that's good entertainment. And then these absurd rape and murder things, you guys were laughing. Like that's what you want. Right? You want to be taken to a fantasy place for stand-up.
Why do you think all these comics have such mental illness or they commit suicide?
You know what? I don't know any comics that committed suicide. Everyone that I know have committed suicide were like either like gangster dudes or regular dudes in the hood and stuff like that. I don't know any comics that have committed suicide. I know depressed comics and stuff like that, and I don't know. It's just maybe narcissism. Maybe they're not getting the attention they crave, and they only get it when it's on stage.
So you're not doing this to get attention. You're doing this because you love
I love making people laugh, man. Like, and of course you're gonna get attention. Like you're standing there by yourself. You know what I mean? And that's why, like you should care a little bit how you look. You know what I mean? And like I wouldn't wear sunglasses on stage or anything like that. And you know. Try to be having a good. It's a good time. Like I know it's art, and some people really make it art, but it should be funny. It should be a good time.
It should be a very good time.
I've ruined so many things because I couldn't do it seriously. Maybe disrupted things because I didn't want to do it seriously, and I hate being around people that want to be serious all the time.
What's more important to you, getting laughs from the crowd or getting respect from other comics?
You know what? Laughs from the crowd, because respect from other comics, once jealousy kicks in, they're going to talk shit no matter what. You know what I mean? Your real true friends are going to be happy for you. And any opportunity I get, I try to bring someone up. Johnny Gold's a good example of that. He told me about you guys. Like, that's the kind of community there is and stuff like that. So
is that just a Southern California, or do you think it's national?
Well, I was talking earlier, like I've done it done stand-up in New York, and these are all in the capacity of mics, okay?
Correct.
But in New York, I did it in Tokyo, I did it in Vegas, New Orleans. Anywhere I travel, I make sure I'm going to do stand-up. And the community is dope
because then it's
everywhere.
a tax write-off.
Yeah.
If you do.
Yeah. But also, it's here's the business part. Like, I let my chick worry about that part. Like, I don't even... Like, people are like, oh, how much are the flights? I don't even know. I just tell her, like, let's go here, or we're going to go here. Like I hate numbers. I don't like that part of it, you know? I like everything else about it. But
is she your manager?
No. But she's the one who takes care of the trips part of it. And then once we're there, I kind of just lead the way. You know what I mean?
So you book your own gigs? At what point do you need to get a manager?
They slide into your DMs and like, hey, or you're at a mic and say, hey, I'm producing a show. Would you like to be on it? This one that I do that just started, these 2 record shops want to start hosting comedy nights, and they had like their inaugural ones, and they were a big success. And I'm a big pothead. And a guy who owns a dispensary or has his own weed company sponsors it. So audience gets free joints, free dabs. You get to smoke indoors, and I get to smoke on stage and tell comedy, and it's a packed house. And that guy just heard about me through another comic, and he reached out in the DMs. And that's how I've been booking shows. Or other comics say, hey, I got a spot. Would you want to be on it? Or how you say, you were mentioning, well, do you ever want to build your own or make your own thing? There's comics that are doing mics and doing that. And so they'll see you at a mic and be like, hey, you want to be on my show? There's a lot of producers / comics on the scene. And they do the shows. And if they like your comedy, they ask you. And now I'm reaching out to people. Hey, if you have a show, please consider me. And I wasn't doing that before. And it's kind of reciprocating gigs as well.
Do you need a letter, like a letter of reference? But do other comics?
Oh yeah, man!
Step up for you and say,
right off the bat. When I first
guy.
started, they're like, "This guy's funny. If you ever have a show, put him on," and just getting introduced by somebody that producer respects without seeing my comedy, they put me on a gig.
Have you opened up for any big names?
Big name. to me, it'd be big, but like Luis Villa, he's a big comic, and one of my early shows, he was the headliner, and man, I'm drawing a blank, but yeah, I couldn't say that. No, nobody big. Yeah, nobody big where you're like, oh, that guy, but you know, guys that are big locally, I've opened for them.
Have you done the Improv?
I did the Ontario Improv, not the LA Improv, but you know, it's an improv. And I've done the Laugh Factory, and then you know, American Comedy Club, but yeah, no one big.
Is it hard to break into a comedy scene like, let's say, in Chicago or New York City?
You know, all I know is what I've done, and it's breaking into the comedy scene is going to the mics, and then people were like, man, I see this guy at the mics all the time. He's a grinder. And then you're like, wow, he's getting laughs. And then you're a good hang, and then you try to be nice to everybody, you know? And then it just generates like work. And I think that could happen in any city. There has to be a scene though, you know? Chicago is a great comedy scene, a big improv scene. So yeah, there's be plenty of places to hit there and cultivate what I've cultivated here. You know, I cultivated it in San Diego, and then it's happening in the Inland Empire, and now I'm trying to get more into LA area.
Last question.
Yeah.
If someone said to you, you do not have to do anything but comedy for the rest of the time you're here, would that be your dream come true?
Oh yeah, man. To not have to work a regular job and get to do comedy, I mean, that's what I'm doing it for. That's why, you know, I'm on the lack of sleep and go to work. And hey, my job's been really supportive of this. So, you know, and they've been real flexible with me. And so there's people that believe in me, and yeah, if I did it, they'd be like, hell yeah, man, help that guy out. And people who have hung with me now, they know, like, if you're part of it, you know, and on the climb, man, if I'm ever in a position of power, I you know, help my friends 100% to help me. If they're funny. Yeah, because you still want to put on a good show.
Well, do you ever think your friends try to put on a bit to try to make you laugh?
No, because they're funny.
Okay.
And I know that they're trying to make people laugh on stage. But
do you only hang out with funny people? Because
100%, I think because it's like I use that. You know how there'll be that one bad fruit, and then the other ones are nice, and that one bad fruit, the mold will kind of jump onto the other ones.
Yeah,
I really believe that with comedy, and I don't talk to a whole lot of people, and if I'm talking to you or whatever, and we don't really watch other people's comedy, because I'm only thinking about mine. But you'll hear crowds laughing, and you're like, oh, let me check out what this guy's got. And then you hear his shit, and you're like, wow, this is funny. And then you kind of naturally gravitate to him, and then you talk, and then you hit it off, and then you kind of just only get attracted to funny people if you're funny. I think I'm one of the funny ones. You know, there's probably haters that are like, oh, you suck, but you know, I only want to hang out with funny. You know, fat sharpens fat. You know.
So, David, if people want to come see you, where are you going to be on the mic next?
Next, let me see. This Wednesday, it's Tuesday, right? Mm-hmm. Oh shit! Tomorrow at let me check here. Isn't that crazy, dude? That I don't know this is all I think about. I'm thinking about the material I'm going to use. That's why.
Should we call your girl? Maybe she'll know.
Yeah, she might know where I'm at, huh? Shit, dude. I know. I'm embarrassed, man. Sorry, guys. Here we go. It's all right. It's 710 stand-up comedy. Get stoned and watch stand-up. It's hosted by Dirty Ron. It's at WM Records, and it's in National City, San Diego. Yeah. It's a fire joint. It's free dabs. Free joints for the audience, and it's a dope room. And then you'll see me at the mics, and then I'm at the Joke and Stroke on the 13th, and that's you paint, and while comedians are telling jokes, and it's a theme one, and this theme is like a superhero one, and so I have a bunch of superhero material written for it, and I'll probably show up in some kind of superhero costume for it, you know, because I think it's funny when you see someone that you wouldn't expect to participate in something to participate in it, you know?
Well, I'd love to see you do stand-up dressed as Wonder Woman.
Oh, well, you know what? I don't like the cross-dressing stuff. Nothing against them. Shout out to trannies. I think you're fucking dope. But like me, like the way you see me is the way I am. I got like 3 pairs of pants and like 4 shirts, and it's probably what you always see me wearing, man. Never in a dress or a Wonder Woman outfit, you know?
Well, at least not behind,
but like a Superman or a
behind
Batman.
Closed doors, we don't know what happens.
Hey,
right.
behind closed doors, it's your worst nightmares.
Dave, it was great talking to you, and we'd like to thank you all for watching Truth on Tilt. We'll talk to you all soon.
All right.
All right. You know what? I've hooked up with the special needs girl, okay? And I don't know if you watch the TikToks and the Instagrams and shit, but they're fucking bodied up now, man. And they're dancing. Have you seen them dancing shit? And they're fucking like bodied up, right? And you know what? You ladies, like, you're pretty sick because, look, you guys are laughing, but let me tell you, I was jacking off to one on Instagram for like 3 months. All right? Yeah, she was fucking bad. And that's where you should hang your head in shame, man. Fucking, it turned out it was a regular broad using an Instagram filter to spread her eyes apart.